The reason I'm so obsessed with using techniques to make girls' pussies wet, basically to make them attracted, is that I'm scared of standing by myself. And instead, it feels smarter slash safer to use those techniques. You know, just like the push and pull. Oh yeah. Like, from my experience, I hate that so much. When I'm talking to a girl or when I'm texting a girl, and in the moment when I'm talking to her, like I'm forcing myself to not show interest, and so I pull back. Same with texting, you know, I take like a full day of texting, you know, because I'm the man. I know it's wrong, so I'm not using it anymore. I'm relying on techniques instead of relying on myself. How fucking crazy is that? Because if I use a technique and I end up failing, well, it's not my fault, the technique didn't work. But if I were to just be straight up honest with my intentions and say that, you know what, I find you cute, I want to get to you know more, I want to see you, blah blah blah, well, isn't that scary? Way scarier, because what if I end up being rejected? Then I can't blame the technique because I didn't use it, but me. Not that I am the problem, but it feels riskier. And I'm starting to understand that, not only that using those techniques just doesn't really work, but most importantly, I'm betraying myself. Because it's like I don't value myself enough to put myself on the line. And instead I use those techniques. Smart techniques. But when you take your time to actually look at it this way, then it's wrong. And so for such a long time I was like, yo, I'm so smart. Bro, I'm gonna learn all the techniques. I'm going to master them and be a professional, baby. But the main reason why I kind of had this mindset is because it feels safer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is better. Bang. That was a rhyme right there. What's better, on the contrary, is showing who you really are, your true desires, your true thoughts, how you actually dress, how you talk, and from there, let it land. By doing it, and it's weird because it almost feels like I don't try. Well, to impress people, which I don't, and I do it less. Sometimes I still do, but I do it less. And it feels like, a lot of people that I knew in my life ends up disappearing. So it feels like it's not working. But actually, I'm kind of filtering them the good way. And instead, I'm seeing that, I'm starting to have people in my life where kind of connect more with me, and I have genuine deep conversations where it's like, yo, I can actually say my true thoughts, and this person at least listen to me, or he kind of understands it. Just whoa, yeah. I'm trying all of those techniques, mindsets, because I'm scared of being left out. Almost as if, well, if I don't use them, well, I'm not gonna be enough. And that's really interesting because it's not something that I actually believe. but it's like my subconscious talking. And I've tried that plenty of times, bro. Like, I know that you did too, like, especially the push-pull technique. Like, it sounds cool when you're doing it. I don't have, like, the best mental dictionary, but it just feels gay. Like, it feels really wrong. Almost like you're insecure and you're not confident in yourself. And you're trying to fill that void by using techniques like those one. But don't think about all of that. Just be yourself, man. Yeah. But the weird thing is that, like, if today you're really tired, well, are you just gonna talk like that when you're with people, and you're not gonna try to, like, put energy when you speak? Like, let's say that, like, I'm so pissed today for some reason, and so that's who I really am in the moment. And so when I'm gonna talk to people, I'm gonna be like, yeah man, that's exactly what I said, come on. Am I gonna be this way? And so being yourself and using those techniques kind of feels like they aren't the answer. It's like bullshit. That it's kind of like BS, but at the same time it isn't. So should I be myself and use techniques? It's like I prefer to stand by who I really am in the moment, say my true thoughts, do what I believe is best in the moment, for example. Say this, do that. Really show who I am. And I prefer to be rejected this way. Yeah. Because if things doesn't work out when I'm using techniques, when I'm using this mindset, saying that line that's gonna make her pussy wet, and it doesn't work, then I can't really be like, oh man, I messed up, it's my bad. I can't, because all I can say is that, oh well, this technique didn't work, therefore it's not my fault. Therefore it's not my fault. And so I prefer to show my true intentions in the moment. Not because it's a technique. Oh yeah man, that's the best way you can be. Yeah. But just because, like, that's just me. And it really is that simple. Not because I'm trying to be this way, but because I am this way. Just like right now when I'm talking to the camera. And so I prefer to really show my true intentions, who I really am, and things not working out this way. But when it will work out, then it will be for who I really am. Bang. But that's interesting, because sometimes I still have the kind of pressure to use those techniques, especially at moments where it feels like things are slipping out of my hands. But I know that even then, I shouldn't. And I genuinely don't think that it's a coincidence that things are working out better for me. I did get rejected more often, but that's also how I got, like, 2 dates with 2 different girls. And so basically to say that maybe using those techniques might be important, but I'm at a stage where it's not the way to go for me, at least. Maybe one day, who knows, but for now, my life is 100 times better without them. And instead, by genuinely putting myself on the line, even though it feels risky. And that is exactly why it's gonna be rewarding. Bye-bye.